let's move on to some of these guys that actually did get the attention they deserved through those college football awards. And starting right off, you know who got the Heisman, and he also walked, but he did not get the Maxwell. The Maxwell Award, which was the Player of the Year, went to Michael Penix Jr. And I'm going to say I like this. We've been talking about him all year long. Very improved, far different from what he was in Indiana. What do you think about him getting this?
I love it. And to me, the Maxwell Award is the Heisman without all the moments and everything that go into it.
Yeah.
This is your guy that just shows up, shows out, does what he's supposed to do, and does it at a phenomenal level. And that was Michael Penix Jr. this year. This guy absolutely deserved this award.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely elevated his team. We've seen all the weapons and things that they've had on there, but they've had rough spots in the year. We saw after that Oregon game, I mean, they had some struggling games, Arizona State, Stanford, even Arizona, but he still has kept them steady and kept them winning. And hey, they're undefeated and right where they want to be, number 2 in the country. So I can dig it. Moving on. Jayden Daniels did get this one, the Player of the Year, the Walter Camp Award. A lot of times the Heisman might also get this one. What do you think about this? I mean, I love that he got this one. Didn't get the Maxwell. Any?
No, I don't have an issue with it. I like that it was 2 separate guys. I might have also thrown Bo Nix into this award and just kind of spread it out amongst all 3. But obviously the Heisman committee is different than these other guys that vote on all these awards. Is mostly AP voters, but I like that Daniels got it. I like that Penix didn't end up with both of these. Like I said, though, I would have been okay with Bo Nix getting this one as well.
Yeah. I mean, and it's one of those things where you have a bunch of guys that really did great. I mean, for just as much as we talk about Penix coming from Indiana and doing what he did, we remember Bo Nix at Auburn. You know, when the house was on fire and everything was going down and Harsin was getting fired and everything was crazy. We remember that guy. And then for him to come out here and do what he's done the last 2 years at Oregon, it's been consistent. And, you know, I do wish he would have gotten some type of recognition for it. But giving it to Jayden Daniels, it's not like it went to somebody that didn't deserve it. So
absolutely,
I'm good with where it went. But I'm with you on that. I wish they could have spread the love, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's go down to the Home Depot Award, the Coach of the Year, Kalen DeBoer of Washington. And, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. They're in the Final Four. They've gone undefeated. They've been a solid the last couple years. What does this mean for him? And please tell me he's not leaving, because that's what seemed to happen to all these guys.
I hope he's not leaving. I really hope he stays and continues to build this Washington program up into a juggernaut.
Yes.
This boosts the prospects of going to Washington with somebody that's a Coach of the Year that's shown that they can develop players. What he's done with Penix, what he's done with a lot of these guys that weren't 5 stars. Some of them weren't even 4 stars, and now they're star players on a college football playoff roster. And Chris, there's a couple other guys I would have considered, so I want to know who Chris thinks should have got it. But I feel like DeBoer is absolutely deserving. There's a few guys, though.
Yeah. Who are some of the people on your list? Because the first thing that comes to my mind, this guy I've been talking about, Sarkisian out of Texas. I mean, obviously you have the loss to Oklahoma, but other than that, he's got a blemish-free record. And to get them back, we always joke about Texas is back. Well, I mean, they're making a case for that right now. But then I also say don't look any farther than the team that Washington beat in the Pac-12 championship. You got to give Dan Lanning some love, man. You have to give this guy some love, what he's been able to do to that guy. But so who are some of the other guys you think?
For me, my main one was Mike Norvell. We were talking about this guy, not if, but when is he getting the can?
You're right.
And they're 13-0, got screwed out of the playoff. I really like Chris's pick here, too. One of those smaller school guys, Alex Galesh. South Florida, I mean, they almost took out Bama.
Yeah.
To me, the part that's screwing him out of this conversation is 6-6.
Mm.
That's when you've got 13-0, 13-0, 12-1, all these powerhouses that these coaches exceeded expectations. Those are the guys that are going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that smaller school kind of presentation for Galesh here. I love it.
Absolutely. And you glad to kind of see them put up the fight. And like you said, that game was huge. I mean, it very well could have gone a different way because it was looking raw for a while. But I mean, let's stay in that game. You and I have talked about this all season long. Is this Saban's best year? Back in the national championship or in the Final Four, you beat the national champ from the last 2 years in the SEC championship. They're not undefeated, but I mean, could he? I mean, very well be in that top 3 list on this.
To me, is he deserving of it? Yes, but it's the same reason why you hardly ever see Bill Belichick in there, Andy Reid in there, Mike Tomlin in there in the NFL. It's just those guys. That's the expectation. So it doesn't really wow you, and these guys, it kind of wowed you a little bit for them to be where they're at, and that's why they're in the Coach of the Year race. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Saban absolutely deserves to be in there.
Oh yeah. And 2 more guys that I know you'll agree with out of the state of Virginia. Got to talk about my coach that is transferring to Indiana from JMU and the Liberty Flames coach. I mean, come on now. 1 loss between the 2 teams. Got to give love.
Absolutely. I can agree more with those.
Yeah. So let's keep going. Moving on. The Jim Thorpe Award, the best defensive back, and the first time an Air Force member has won this award. Trey Taylor from Air Force. Hey, I've watched these guys a lot. Unfortunately, I focus a lot on that offense. So I haven't even really focused a lot on that defense. But that defense shut out a number of teams. I don't mean like blank them, but the score differential was huge between the teams, and they were 8-0, like 7-0, 8-0 before they finally ended up getting the loss to, I believe, Army. But this team has been one of those teams that I've loved to see all year, and to see this. I don't know if you saw when he got the award, he had all the cadets and all those guys behind him. That's why I love this game, man.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. There was a lot of guys deserving of it, him included. And like you said, that moment of everyone kind of rushing him when he won it and being there. Yeah, it was cool. Kirk Ferentz, I love the love for him as well. Now, the next time with the Big Ten runner-up, that's a flawed system that he's the Big Ten runner-up. But nonetheless, he is the Big Ten runner-up. And that comment is the nail in the coffin for him. When's the last time Iowa had an offense?
Yeah,
like a legit offense. It's you got to coach both sides of the ball. Especially when you're looking at Coach of the Year, you got to look at the entire team. While that defense is phenomenal and it's been phenomenal forever, that offense, it's awful is an understatement.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead. they are what the Ravens were in 2000 for like 5 weeks. It's just the defense is amazing. The special teams will get it done, but don't look for the offense to help you at all.
Here's a stat. I can't remember if it's total offense or passing offense. Tory Taylor, the punter, had more yards than either a specific part of their offense or their entire offense as a whole.
Wow.
I can't remember. I think I sent it to you. I'll try and find it again.
But I do believe you did. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That right there is why I can't give Kirk Ferentz Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Hey, didn't that happen in Washington for the Commanders? This is a college show. We're moving past that. Yo, while you're looking that up, I'm going to keep moving. Best quarterback, the Davey O'Brien Award. Surprise, surprise. Went to the Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels. And we saw what numbers he put up. Real quick, total yards per game, over 400. Total TDs responsible for 50. total QBR 96, and yards per rush 8.4. In all of college football, he was ranked number 1 in all 4 of these categories. This man is a freak, man. He dominated, and I'm glad for him. So I'm not surprised that he's collecting all of these awards, man.
Yeah, I found it, by the way.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
So the total offensive yards this season for Iowa, 3,123 total yards.
Yeah.
Torrey Taylor's total punting yards, 4,156. Over 1,000. It's what, 1,033 more punting yards than offensive yards.
Ugh.
That's bad. That's why he's firing his son. That's why his son's out the door.
Right. He said, I love you, but you got to go. This ain't working. Woo. Oh, my goodness. What's going on, Ben? Fellas, any truth to Shohei Ohtani will be a USC's quarterback 24? He can do it. I know he can play the position. I mean,
yeah.
How much money is he getting?
What? Did you see how they set that contract out, though?
No, how'd they do it?
On the books, it's actually only $2 million a year for all 10 years, and then he gets back paid $680 million. So if you look at the books, the USC quarterback will probably make more than Shohei Ohtani will next year, and the year after, and the year after.
Look, Shohei, sir, if you need help with your money, I can work some English. I can speak English to you.
If you need help with
anything, I'll tie your shoes, brother. Tag on. Craziness. Johnny said none. All lines been Cornette. Oh man. Yo, let's move on down the list. The Lou Groza Award goes to Grant Nicholson of Miami of Ohio. The Butkus Award, best linebacker. The Groza is the best place kicker. The best linebacker, Peyton Wilson of NC State. I'm really excited to see this man. Peyton is a monster. He dominated the North Carolina game, and come back from being hurt a year ago to get the opportunity to be in this and do this, well deserved. I love this.
Yeah, he killed it week in and week out. Absolutely love to see guys like that not a lot of people know, and especially not a school that a lot of people watch like NC State. To watch a guy like that crush it week after week after week and get a national award, I love it.
Yep. Very, very, very well deserving. Yo, the Doak Walker Award, which is the best running back in the country. We mentioned this guy earlier. Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State had 20 rushing touchdowns, led the country in rushing yards. You take out a couple hiccups, and this guy is the best back in the country this year, man.
Yeah, and I don't know that it was really that close. I mean, the only real number he didn't lead in was rushing touchdowns, but that's because 21 of Corum's 24 touchdowns came from within the 2-yard line. No, Ollie Gordon was absolutely the best running back in college football. I don't think there was really a discussion. Maybe there's a discussion for number 2, but number 1 was clearly Ollie Gordon. They absolutely got this right.
I love that. I love that he got that, man. Like we said, the numbers were proof alone what he can do. Yeah. So moving along to the Biletnikoff Award and the most outstanding receiver. And I know he went to Ohio State, but I don't think that there was anybody in my mind that was even going to touch this coming into the season. For me, it was Marvin Harrison Jr. and the rest of the field.
Yeah.
And
now, did you see how the votes went down?
No.
He beat Malik Neighbors by 1.
Ooh, okay.
It was neck and neck. Now, I mean, if you look at the numbers, it's no debate. It's Malik Neighbors, but you got to factor in Harrison's numbers are comparable, and his team was up the majority of every game this season. They're running the ball a lot. Malik Neighbors, everyone's been talking so much about Marvin Harrison Jr. that I would have been okay with Neighbors getting the award to kind of just give him some love too. But the best receiver in college football was Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right. And I mean, look, like you said, no disrespect to Neighbors. Neighbors had himself a year.
Phenomenal year.
Right. And I mean, that two-headed monster at wide receiver with him and with Brian Johnson,
Yeah.
a solid two-headed monster. We talked about them potentially being on par, if not better, than Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. And we know what they've done in the league. So Malik Neighbors is definitely not. I love that it came down, like you said. I love that it came down to it, but being a little bit biased. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. was it for me. I mean, that's what it was. And same with this next one, the John Mackey Award, best tight end. Even though dude got hurt, Brock Bowers from Georgia. I mean, you want to talk about a matchup nightmare. I mean, nobody's been able to stop this guy, even when he's been gimpy.
Yeah, no, and this is another one that when we've talked about the tight end class, even the end of last year coming into this season, it was, okay, Bowers, and who's taking number 2? Nobody's touching number 1. It is Bowers, and it's far and away Bowers. And they got it right. I don't care that he missed, 2-3 games. He was still the best tight end in football, and it wasn't close.
Yeah. And hey, I can't wait to see how he transitions. He definitely might have an eye on him to come to Washington, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking for.
I feel like there's about 25 to 28 teams that are like, yeah, we'll go get Brock Bowers. Like,
right? Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Moving on, best interior lineman Outland Trophy goes to Devondre Sweat, defensive tackle at Texas. Him, and I got to look up that other name, but him and his other, I think it's Malik Murphy. Is that it?
Malik Murphy's the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think. Let me look that one up. But the two of them together, Byron Murphy. The best two D tackles in the country. Byron Murphy himself can potentially be late first round, if not early second round pick. And then obviously Devondre Sweat winning the what's it called? The best interior, the Outland Trophy Award. So I love that. And you're starting to see why Texas is in the position that they're in.
Yeah. This is a lot of the reason why would have been more than okay with Sarkisian getting the Coach of the Year award. This Texas team, they built the trenches the last couple of years, and it's showing this year. They got physical. They started being able to just pound teams away with that running game. And, I'm more than okay with that.
Oh, yeah. I have a stunner for best art running back. I have Ishmael Mahadi. The guy gives him serious Barry Sanders vibes. Oh, yeah, I like that. You know who else? And you put me on to him because he was your game ball last Kamani Vidal of Troy.
Yeah.
My man balled out this year, top 10 in rushing. I mean, hey, I shouted out Carson Steele from whatever he did in Miami of Ohio. Vidal also had that type of a year this year. So, I love this pick, Mahadi, and I definitely love that one. Washington, don't mention Sweat because he's actually showing up for Chicago, man.
Yes, he is.
This guy
found that out the hard way.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Moving on, we're gonna run through these last couple really quickly. The Ray Guy Award was the best punter. My guy Alex mentioned him, Tory Taylor.
Yeah.
Whenever you out gain your entire offense, you kind of gotta.
This is the third award where it was Tory Taylor and everyone else.
Right.
When you have people making shirts and wearing your jersey as a punter, we started to see it with Justin Tucker as a kicker. Yeah. When you do it as a punter now, okay. You're that guy.
Tory Taylor, I can dig it. Moving on to Bednarik Award goes to Peyton Wilson of North Carolina State. Love this. The Bronco Nagurski Award goes to Xavier Watts of Notre Dame. I like that. This one is one of my favorites. We talking about the Burlsworth Trophy for the top former walk-on. Obviously, we always pay attention to these guys getting, walking on to teams and getting scholarships in all these different crazy ways. I think the guy, Grace, the kicker from Washington, got game winner. He got his. So I love this. And it couldn't have gone to a better person. Cody Schrader gets it from Missouri. This guy truly, before the season, if you didn't know about him and what he's done from before, you would not have realized how good this guy was. But the thing, they kept feeding him in that offense, and he really opened everything up for Brady Cook. Luther Burden didn't have to have all the pressure on him, all those wide receivers. So this is very, very much appreciated. Oh,
yeah. One, I like that comparison. I do.
Like yeah,
that's a solid comparison. Obviously, not to the level of a CMC, but when you look at what he does everything McCaffrey does.
Yeah.
I love that Schrader got all the love and attention he did this year, and that he won this award. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens for him in the future here.
Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. Eric said, why you make me wait to the end? Save the best for last, man. You know that. You know that. Yo, definitely got to shout this out. Yo, real quick, the Disney Sport Award Most Inspirational, Brian Dooley of Eastern Michigan. Fortunately, I don't know much about this, so I don't know if you do. Chris, if you know about the story,
I
definitely
don't know
let us
too
know.
much.
Yeah. I haven't heard too much. Moving down, William V. Campbell Trophy, the academic Heisman. Our boy was not left off the list. Bo Nix of Oregon getting this trophy. I'm glad he's getting some recognition, even though it's not if it's off the field, but I can still dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, you back? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, that's a bit behind.
Okay. Yo, and real quick, the Community Service Award, the Warfel Trophy, going to Ladd McConkey from Georgia, and the Broyles Award with the top assistant coach going to Phil Parker from Iowa. Hey, shout out to all of these guys, and it's well worth it. I'm glad these guys got up there on this list. Any names that maybe you thought could have gone elsewhere? I mean, other than ones we talked about?
Not really. I feel like they kind of hit right on the nail with all these. Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of these.
Yeah, I definitely love what we've done this year, especially when we dived in a little bit deeper this year. So a lot of these games I've had, a lot of these players I've actually spent some serious time watching and paying attention to. So it's definitely well deserved. A number of these awards that these guys have gotten. Anybody that's getting these awards towards the end of the year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming close to the end of the show. We did real quick. We're going to do a bowl preview coming up this Saturday. All of you guys in the comments, Chris, Eric, if you guys have time, Andrew, Will, Kramer, all of you guys definitely come out and join us. See if we get some Georgia boys, some Florida State boys, and have a conversation.
Guy? Just reading Chris's comment there. It was the guy that he gave up his scholarship for a guy that was working multiple jobs, selling plasma, like he says there. I remember this. He got up in the middle of a meeting and gave his scholarship away so this kid could have a scholarship.
Oh man, let's go!
Yeah,
right.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna have to start.
It happened late August, early September, if I'm not mistaken. Like right at the beginning of the season, and it was another one of those like this guy's on scholarship kind of thing. Yeah. But then for a player to give up their scholarship to see this guy grinding, doing everything he's doing, and you be like, yeah, here you go. Yeah, that was a special moment. And I'm so glad that they gave that more recognition because it was awesome.
These are the awards that I'm really glad they made a space for so they can give it to me. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of these guys that maybe won't get recognized for their play on the field, but the impact that they have to their team off the field, moments like this, that's beautiful, man, because you see one guy giving it his all, and it's not every day that somebody else tries to lighten your load, but to see this type of stuff, to me, that's the essence of college football.